is a tradition on this channel to talk about which laptops we actually use. When you have the choice of hundreds of laptops and you switch all the time for reviewing them, favorites naturally start to emerge. So let's talk about which ones are our top picks and why. If you want to skip ahead and see the answers, check the links below this video. Also, we keep an updated list of the laptops we're currently using on our website, bestlaptop.deals. Over there, you can see each of the laptop's pros and cons, our test results, a link to our full review, and the best prices across retailers. Let's first get into the video production team, starting with me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cierra. My primary job here is to do research, write scripts, speak on camera, make our graphs, and post articles to our website, bestlaptop.deals. Depending on what's needed that week, I may also be running around helping Seth with testing, reviewing videos to give feedback to the editors, or helping keep the products on our website up to date. Because my job is so multifaceted, I like to have a versatile machine with good performance. This year, I found myself gravitating toward the new LG Gram Pro 17 with a current-gen Core Ultra 9 processor and an NVIDIA RTX 5050. I realized that I really liked the extra screen real estate of a 17-inch in such a lightweight portable package that was easy to carry around the office. Another thing I like is its comfortable, clicky keyboard. It makes writing scripts really satisfying. I can also enter testing numbers super fast on its number pad when I need to, which is a nice bonus. The cons of the LG Gram Pro are that it has some light fan noise occasionally, even during light use reviewing scripts, its trackpad is a bland mechanical one, and it's very pricey. I personally would not spend my own money on this laptop for home use, as it's too big to carry around in the smaller bags I use. I think it's aimed at professionals, and there's a good reason for that. I could see it being a great pick for someone who does creative work, 3D modeling, or design, and needs the larger screen and dedicated graphics, but also has to travel a lot and wants it to be lightweight. Basically, if it's your company's money, go for it. Another laptop I use frequently to work from home or do poetry work is Lenovo's ThinkPad X914. It's genuinely one of the nicest, most premium-feeling laptops I've ever used. It has a fantastic haptic trackpad, super comfortable keyboard, great webcam, beautiful screen, and the list goes on. I think it's overall a nicer laptop than the LG Gram, and I simply pair it with an external monitor at home to make up for its smaller screen. That laptop is less expensive, and there's just never anything to worry about. My only issue I've run into with that one is that sometimes the battery life isn't as good as I expect it to be because it doesn't go to sleep properly in my bag. This is more of a Windows issue, but some manufacturers handle it better than others. Next, we have Pulkit, who does our thumbnails. He still uses a MacBook Air M1 with 8 gigs of RAM, but is hoping to upgrade very soon to an M4 MacBook Pro 14. What he likes about the Air is its decent battery life, great keyboard, trackpad, and the fact that it's so lightweight and portable. The reason he's planning to upgrade is that it's an outdated laptop. He notices lagging when there are lots of tabs open or when he runs certain software that requires more performance. He also likes the idea of the slightly larger screen he will be getting on the MacBook Pro 14 instead of the 13.3-inch on the Air M1. The reason he's going for an M4 version rather than an M5 is mostly just cost. Now for our video editing team. First, we'll talk about which laptops the part-time editors who have helped us over the last year prefer. Both Erin and Taylor tend to be more into visual effects and flair, adding some much-needed zhuzh to our videos. They both prefer 18-inch laptops with big screens and great performance, but they picked very different laptops to meet those needs. Before she worked with us, Erin had already been considering buying the Alienware 18 Area 51, which is an absolute beast. Heavy and bulky, for sure, but also super unique, attractive, and powerful. It has an option for a built-in mechanical keyboard from Cherry, which she loves, a current-gen Intel Arrow Lake HX processor, NVIDIA 50 series graphics up to a 5090, and the option of a 4K webcam. It cools its components well, has a smooth front edge for such a thick laptop, and a great keyboard, all of which make it super comfortable to use for long editing sessions. Taylor, on the other hand, ended up using the Strix G18 with a 5080. He said he likes the large screen, keyboard, and powerful GPU, but he ran into a few performance issues with it. He recently ended up switching over to his desktop for editing our videos, as the Strix just couldn't keep up. We think there is likely something wrong with his unit, and we are in the process of troubleshooting it. We doubt this is an issue with all Strix G18s. Next up, Colin has been editing here at Just Josh Tech for the longest, but he famously doesn't like to be on camera, so I'll be going over which laptop he uses. Surprisingly enough, Colin is still rocking his ZenBook Pro 16X from 2023. He likes its 3K 120Hz touchscreen, the fact that the keyboard lifts up off the deck to keep it cool, it has great ports, a haptic trackpad, and a row of additional keys along the right side he utilizes often, like Home and End. He wishes the screen were a bit brighter though, and less glossy. He also hates how loud the fan noise gets, which makes sense since the chassis is essentially open. It gets warm on the palm rest under load and is on the heavier side as well as far as cons go. Now that Asus's ProArt P16 has been improved with the 5090 though, he was super stoked to see if it could finally replace his outdated ZenBook. Some things it has over his old one are its 4K tandem OLED display, which is much brighter and higher resolution while still being 120Hz. Its fan noise is much better even during intensive use, it's slim and light compared to the ZenBook, and it has a super fast SD Express 7.0 card reader. Not to mention he loves its understated black design, and it performs better, especially when editing 10-bit footage, which the 50 series has hardware encoders for, but the 40 series doesn't. If we didn't have to send this ProArt back, Colin might have considered keeping it, but he was disappointed by the lack of an RGB keyboard, additional home and end keys along the side, and it's also missing a haptic trackpad like the ZenBook Pro has.
Hey, I'm Tony, and I'm the newest editor on the team. Traditionally, I'm a Mac guy. I used to prefer editing on the MacBook Pro, but when I started here, I decided to try out Windows instead. I started using the Alienware 18 Area 51 and I fell in love. The laptop is super snappy with lightning fast render times in both Premiere and After Effects. The screen is also so big I don't have to use an external monitor anymore, not to mention the super high refresh rate. Even as an Apple user, the Alienware Area 51 is quickly becoming my favorite laptop. The keyboard is satisfying to type on, and I even like the numpad. There really isn't much to complain about. The only cons I have come up with in my time of using this laptop is the lack of media control buttons. I miss being able to pause my music while Spotify is minimized. Also, I'm right-handed, so I use my mouse on the right side of the laptop. Unfortunately, the exhaust fan also points out towards the right side of the laptop. My desk is right next to a window here in Phoenix, Arizona, so not only am I dealing with the heat from the sun, I'm also dealing with the heat from the computer. The keyboard also took some time to get used to, as I'm used to the wider keyboard of a Mac. For example, when I go for the P key, I find myself accidentally pressing the bracket key, or when I go for the Alt key, I find myself pressing the Windows key. This isn't a con as much as a personal preference thing for a larger keyboard. Overall, I also don't mind the size or weight of the laptop since I'm exclusively working at my desk and I'm rarely on the go. So the Alienware Area 51 is a great laptop for what I do.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and I'm the cinematographer here at Just Josh Tech as well as the Prominent Hand model. I film B-roll, review and name footage, and do some occasional testing. For work, I like to use the MacBook Air with them too because it's great. It's a classic. While I did notice an improvement in snappiness with the M3 last year, I had some intermittent issues with our specific model, like Microsoft Authentication not working. I found it easier to go back to the M2 since they are basically the same laptop. I like that it stays completely silent, has a great keyboard, haptic trackpad, high-resolution screen, and I love how portable it is. I can take it absolutely anywhere I need to go. I continue to choose Mac over Windows because of features like AirDrop and other compatibilities with my iPhone. In my downtime, I am a gamer though, so I have been considering buying the ROG Flow Z13. It has a great screen and amazing integrated graphics performance that rivals a 4060. I like how compact and portable it is, and I do really like the tablet design, even though I know a lot of people probably don't. I think it would be really useful for my D&D games where I don't really want a full laptop sitting at the table. The keyboard has a bit of flex when it's angled, but when I lay it flat, it's fine. My main holdup on buying it is that I'm not sure if its graphics performance is going to be good enough for all the games I play like Helldivers and Monster Hunter. What have you been using, Seth?
Hey everyone, I'm Seth, the lead laptop tester here, and the laptop that I keep coming back to is the ThinkPad X915. It is just fantastic. As someone who appreciates Macs but prefers Windows, I've long dreamed of a Windows MacBook. When it comes right down to it, a laptop needs to be a good laptop first. If I don't enjoy actually using it as a laptop, then I don't care how good it looks on a spec sheet. That means good trackpad, keyboard, screen, build quality, and battery life. The basic laptop things that Macs always seem to get right. And the ThinkPad X9 nails them all too. It has a haptic trackpad, which is one of those creature comforts that's difficult to give up once you get used to using one. It has a comfortable keyboard with decent key travel and a good layout, and no number pad, which is the way that I prefer it to be on laptops. Its 120Hz OLED screen gives me those punchy colors and contrast, like you'd expect from an OLED, and its high refresh rate makes scrolling through spreadsheets buttery smooth as I punch in my results for the 200th laptop. Battery life. Battery life is fantastic. It's so good that I don't even have to think about it. I'm not constantly glancing down at the status bar wondering what it's at. The truth is, whenever I carry this home in the evenings or weekends, I just leave the charger here at work. So if that's not saying something, I don't know what does. Now, even though I consider myself a power user, the fact of the matter is that for 95% of the work that I do, these Intel Lunar Lake chips are good enough. And for the slightly more intensive things that I might have to wait on, I don't mind to just run to the kitchen and grab a coffee while I wait. It's really not that big of a deal. The GPU in this is actually pretty good. You can actually play some modern games at lower settings. But for me, most of the games that I play are older games like Oblivion or Morrowind, and the iGPU is plenty for that, so I'm good. Shout out to my old school Elder Scrolls enjoyers. So, all in all, I guess you could say I'm a fan. Lenovo absolutely killed it with this new line, and I'm excited to see what's next. Well, that's it for me. So, go do something awesome with your day, and I will catch you later. Oh, was this not the end of the video?
Oh, sorry, Seth. We are going to talk about all the wonderful folks who work on our website first, which we don't normally do. Let's start with the developers. Trehan and Saket both use M4 MacBook Pro 14s. Trehan uses an M4 Pro 12-core version upgraded to 32 gigs of memory. Saket uses the base M4 10-core. They both brought up the fantastic battery life, its bright display, which can be used outside if needed, and its speakers. They said they sound so immersive and are good enough that they don't need external ones. Their only con is that they can't play games on it like they would be able to on a Windows laptop, but Saket said he only misses that occasionally. If you have the money for one, the MacBook Pro 14 is a fantastic choice for web development. Another con I would personally consider is that it can get pricey, especially if you upgrade its RAM or storage like Trehan did. The other folks who work on our website are all responsible for updating prices, searching for deals, and responding to community posts. Let's start with Khayam, who uses a MacBook Pro 16 for both the work on our website and his master's in computer science. He chose this one because he wanted a big laptop without a numpad. His other options were the Blade 16 and Dell XPS 16, so he said the MacBook felt like a no-brainer. He likes its battery life, great screen, and enjoys having Unix under the hood for development work. On the other hand, some of the data analytics tools he needs are not fully functional on macOS, like Anaconda or Power BI, which kinda sucks. Another laptop he said he would consider is the ProArt P16, thanks to its much improved development compatibility. It runs Windows and it has an NVIDIA GPU, so he can use CUDA. It also has a great screen like the MacBook Pro and centered keyboard without a numpad. He doesn't like the ProArt's design as much though, and would definitely miss the great battery life of the MacBook Pro 16. The next person who works on our website is Cameron, who is a recent addition to the team. He is using his gaming laptop for work daily, which is a Hydrox 16 G2. This is a flagship laptop from Electronics, a smaller boutique brand known for high-performing gaming laptops with great serviceability and support. He likes that he was able to get it with a higher-tier NVIDIA 50 series GPU, it has great ports, and he can upgrade the RAM himself, which is nice since he runs virtual machines. It also features a mini LED screen, comfortable keyboard, and Windows Hello. Its cons are that it has poor battery life, his audio gets cut off in Linux, and there was a promised PrimaMod UEFI he's been waiting for to come out. If you're also wondering what that is, like I was, it's a custom BIOS to give you more performance. We've tested older versions of this BIOS on laptops, and they perform unusually well. All right, I'm going to let Josh close us out.
All right, my turn. Actually, that was really cool. I really like doing these series of videos. Anyway, I think you guys know what I use because I complain about it pretty much in every video. The Blade 16, that's been my most used laptop this year. That's the one I'm sitting in my office just yelling at when I have Blade issues. Blades, they're notorious for having issues. Their batteries bloating and destroying the laptop is a really good example. When it comes to my specific one, its trackpad palm rejection is just so bad, and I always mispress keys because of the small arrow keys and the right column of special keys. It's kind of funny that Colin and Tony actually mentioned that they actually like that column of special keys. Anyway, let's talk about the good stuff, as obviously I do really enjoy using this laptop. I find its keyboard really comfortable to type on, and I really like its display. I like it so much that I bring it to coffee stores with me when I do my work on the weekend. I know that sounds nuts to work out of coffee stores on the weekend, but I enjoy doing that. I find I can just be more productive in that kind of scenario when I'm working on a high-quality 16-inch laptop's panel than on a smaller screen. And I really like how thin and light the Blade is. It's just so comfortable and convenient to bring around with me. On how thin it is, its edge, it doesn't cut into my wrist like a lot of powerful 16-inch ones do, especially with this kind of hardware. My one has an RTX 5080. And I hate to say it, there's just this feeling you get when you're using a blade that you're using a very special and unique laptop. Razer's marketing department have just done a fantastic job positioning their products like this. It's amazing, given all their issues, how they're just able to sweep them under the rug. Anyway, on that note, I pretty much always turn off the trackpad on my blade and bring my Logitech G705 mouse with me, which I love, by the way. Link to that one down below. I also bring a small USB-C charger with me, as the blade, it does get super slow on battery. Also, one other issue that has been driving me absolutely nuts is that both my blades won't sleep in my backpack. They literally just get super hot and just cook themselves. I know this is a bit of a Windows issue, but it does happen more on the blades than on any other laptop. But recently, in the last week, it does seem to have improved a bit, but I'm still testing. Anyway, let's move on. The other laptop that I use as a daily driver is my MacBook Pro 14, this one here. It's the one with the M4 Pro chip and 24 gig of memory. It's basically the laptop I use around the house and the one I travel with if I'm not planning to do any gaming. I really like its large screen for a 14-inch laptop, its excellent battery life, it has no annoyances like heat and fan noise, and it is fast. It's great to edit one of our videos on if I'm caught in a pinch. I've tried the new M5 model, by the way, and I actually don't like it. I didn't catch this in our original video review of it. But the M5 model, it actually seems to use the same keyboard as the MacBook Air. It is lower travel than the one in the MacBook Pros with the M3 Pro and M4 Pro chips. I don't know if this is because it's the cheaper MacBook Pro 14 that they put this keyboard in, or if it's a change that's happening between the M4 series and the M5, which I really hope it's not. I'll have to see if the new MacBook Pro with the M5 Pro and the M5 Max chips, when they come out next year, they have this less comfortable keyboard. Please, I hope they don't. Finally, I've recently started using the Blade 14, and I've been liking it a lot. I've actually been using it more than my Blade 16. It's just so cute and portable, and it doesn't have that column of special keys, so I don't have so many mispresses. I like that I can game on it, I like that it's powerful enough for me to edit videos on, but just like the Blade 16, its battery life is bad, its trackpad has the same palm rejection issues, and it also cooks itself in my backpack. So I'm not sure how long the Blade 14 will stay in my rotation. By the way, if someone was to ask a very sensible question, what laptop would I buy if I only could have one, I'd go for this one, the Legion 7i. I'd get it for its super bright display and its insanely comfortable keyboard. It has these large arrow keys that are just so awesome, they're such a godsend. It also looks amazing and has upgradable memory. I would be pissed though that its GPU caps out at an RTX 5070, which of course has the 8GB of VRAM issue. Well, that's all we got for you. All the laptops we talked about today are linked down below this video and on our website, bestlaptop.deals. I think Cierra already said all of that. Anyway, if you aren't already a subscriber and you're still watching at this point, what are you doing? Come on, get subscribed. It makes my mother very proud. In fact, it makes all our mothers very proud. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, and we will catch you later.